Good morning. Yes, I made it through my workout. Yes, I made it to my work day, working on my stuff for the day. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday morning. Terrific Tuesday. Fabulous Tuesday. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm coming on this morning because I was working out when I finally got to my workout after I stopped procrastinating this morning, guys. It was a rough morning. What? Lady Gabby 78, woohoo, woody woo, hooty hoo, right? We gotta make it great today, guys. It's Tuesday. Listen, my hair's crazy. My hair bestie Kim's coming to do my hair this morning. Listen, until then, you see I got the gym wrap headbands, and I'm trying to be cute with this hair. You know, it's rough. It's rough, y'all. Working out is rough. Got you contemplating your whole life. Listen, this morning I was like, oh, Lord. Listen, I had to take a time out after I worked out, guys. I finally got off that bench and went and worked out. Went to the grocery store, ran a couple errands. I was like, okay, I got to just get my life right. I can't just go straight to work this morning. I got stuff. I gotta figure some things out, like woosah, right? Woosah. But this morning, what I was thinking about is how often, guys, because so lately, one of the things, you know, we're creating a couple new companies right now. And one of the things I thought about is how, remember I shared last week, guys, when I said shift happens, that, you know, in the transitions of life, you're coming into new things, and that means you have to let go of old stuff. And one of the things that I thought about, because recently, I would say in the past year, I have found myself just being really tired. And there's just different seasons in life when you've created a dream for your life. You've created an idea of what you want your life to be. And I think sometimes you're going to have to stop and evaluate whose dream are you chasing. You have to take these moments of self-inventory and evaluation sometimes to evaluate, you know, this pressure that you're putting on yourself to obtain or live at a certain level. I don't know, whatever it is, you know, you've created a dream or a deadline for your life. I'm just talking about me. So if this triggers you or it applies to you, right? It just applies to you. But I'm just going to talk about me so that, you know, maybe it's relatable to you and you could be able to do some of this work that I do. Is that you could have had a dream, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's your dream. You know, and especially with this daggone social media, it's so easy for you to have all these visuals of what other people are doing or how other people are living, but it doesn't mean that that's a fit for your life, right? It doesn't mean that that's who you should want to be or what you should be pursuing or what's authentic to you or what would make you happy, right? Everyone's not an entrepreneur. This is one of my thoughts that came across my mind this morning. Everyone's not an entrepreneur. Everyone should not be pursuing some type of, you know, really hard, demanding entrepreneurial pursuit. So let me say this. Everyone's not an entrepreneur. And if you don't have some of the natural personality traits that makes you successful or helps you to be successful as an entrepreneur, but yet you still want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have to work really, 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 really hard to be successful as an entrepreneur if you don't have some natural personality traits, natural strengths that make you strong, make you naturally, organically good at entrepreneurial pursuits. Does that mean that you can't have other streams of income? Does it mean that you can't do other things that won't make a return on your money? Does it mean you're just stuck in 9-to-5 world? No, because there are other investments. There are things you can do that are not necessarily entrepreneurial in nature. You can invest in property. You can invest in Airbnbs. You can invest in any type of real estate, any type of a venture in real estate that gives you a return on your investment. You can invest in the stock market, right? Right? Flying Fox 95 says, I consider myself to be supporting cast. Who are the entrepreneurs that are hiring? Right. Flying Fox, you have to know who you are, what makes you happy, swim in your lane, understand what it is that you can sustain long term. Because entrepreneurship is not for everyone, right? So back to my original question for this video, what dream are you chasing? Are your dreams your own? Or are they dreams that you have incorporated out of a sense of wanting to be validated, wanting to look rich, wanting to impress other people, caring so much about what other people think? There are a lot of different things that can motivate you to think that your dream, do you understand nowadays a lot of people don't want to get married? Not everybody wants to be married. Not everyone wants that type of financial commitment that comes with marriage. Not everyone wants that type of responsibility on their life for marriage. There are people who choose to have life partnerships. There are people who choose to have companionship. You have to decide what is a fit for your life. There are people now who don't want children. There are people now who are choosing alternative lifestyles. There's people who are choosing to trail their own path, trailblaze their own way in life. They're saying, I don't have to fit all of these traditional things that were acceptable for men or acceptable for women. You may not want to get married. You may not want to own a business. You may not, it's up to you to live a life that you want to live. And getting out of this booked and busy mindset that says you should be hustling and grinding for extended years or seasons of your life, yeah, that gets really, held in high regard on social media. But guys, can I tell you from someone who did it for years, it's overrated. As I told you guys in another video, I remember the first year I made $400,000, it clicked for me that everyone doesn't have to be a millionaire. Everyone doesn't have to make millions to be happy. Unless you're out here balling out of control to want to impress other people, or you have really, really, really expensive taste and you want to drive Bugattis and Ferraris, you don't have to make millions to drive a Mercedes and have a nice home and to travel whenever you want and invest and have a chef, or we have all these things. We have a private chef. We have personal trainers. We have coaches. We have businesses. And you don't have to make millions. Millions. Now you could be worth millions. Do you guys understand the difference between making millions and being worth millions? Sometimes you have to stop and realize that financials and wealth, guys, is not just about what you make. It's about what you do with the money. It's about what you invest in. It's about longevity. It's about legacy. It's about financial stability. It's about not having to grind constantly just to meet your monthly financial requirements. It's about not having to grind constantly just to live. I'm talking to somebody today. What dreams have you created that are not yours? What dreams are you chasing that are not even what you really want in life? That even if you kill yourself trying to get it, you're not going to be happy. I've had some clients, guys, over the years. I've had homosexual clients who were in the closet that I was life coaching. Why? Because when they came to me, they were suicidal. They came from a Christian background. They're in the closet. They can't be themselves. They can't be honest. They're living in the closet. Why? They're afraid of judgment. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of criticism. They're afraid of upsetting their families. But yet you are sacrificing your own mental health and mental well-being to hide your true desires and who you really are, So you're sacrificing and killing yourself, worried about what other people think. And you're on death's door because you're actually suicidal because you're so afraid to live your truth. I'm talking to somebody. And you want to go out here and date a girl or date a boy, or you want to marry a woman or marry a man of the opposite sex, so you can try to live out some lie, so you can try to meet people's expectations, so you can try to not be judged, so you can try to hide in plain sight, only to turn around and reach an age where you don't care anymore. And now you got to get honest with yourself as a man that you don't like women, or you meet somebody that's your soulmate and it happens to not be a woman, and now you got to get honest with yourself and disentangle this mess you created by not being honest because you were chasing somebody else's dream. Come on, I'm getting real this morning. You're chasing somebody else's expectation of who you think you're supposed to be or how you show up instead of living your truth. I've had clients, I've had homosexual male clients when I was coaching one-on-one guys. I've had homosexual male clients who had never had sex with a woman before, have been homosexual, LGBTQ, all the way back as far as they can remember from the time they were little boys. Have never kissed a girl, never liked a girl, never slept with a girl. For those of you who think some people can't be born homosexual, I'm going to beg to differ. It's in nature. And if you think it can't happen in human beings and that something's just wrong, something happened to them, I'm here to tell you, I disagree. I've had clients who had never been molested, never been raped. Hardy, sit down. And then doing the work with them to heal, to accept themselves. I had one client, guys, he was so self-judging, beating himself up because he couldn't make himself like a girl, make himself like women. He went through 3 years of self-torture and mental illness and struggling because he had just vowed that he was delivered and that he was no longer going to be attracted to men or like men because he's trying to be a good Christian. But now he can't make the desires go away. He can't make himself like women. He can't make himself not like men because he's been this way since the time he was born. See, some of y'all want life to be so easy. You want stuff to be so black and white. You want stuff to be in nice little boxes so you can check off boxes and put a bow around it. Life is complicated. That's why there's no cookie cutter answers for everything. There's no cookie cutter advice. And if you refuse to show up authentic, do you know what I said to this young man when I was coaching him? This was years ago. You know what I said to him? He was young enough to be my son, in his 20s. I said to him, do you know what I would tell you if you were my son? He said, no, ma'am. I said, I would tell you that God doesn't care who you kiss. I would tell you, baby, to live your life. That there is more to you than who you're attracted to. I would say to you that God would rather you focus on who you can help and your passions and your skills and your gifts, that you are on earth for a bigger purpose than to walk around constantly consumed and worried about what people think of you because who you like to kiss or who you like to lay down with. There is more to you than your sexuality. There's more, you have more to give this world before you pass off this earth. There is more for you to do and give than just your sexuality. So I would choose for you to say, I would encourage you to say, I'm going to focus on the greater purpose for my life, and I'm going to focus on living my best life. And then if there's anything inside of me, God, that you need to change or that is not of you, God, have your way in me. That if this is not authentic to who I am, and this is not who I am, then God, have your way to change it. But if not, I'm going to move forward to be a great person and to let God's love flow through me and not judge others, and hopefully others not judge me. And he just cried and cried. He says, I've never heard anybody as a woman of God or anybody of faith say anything like that to me before, that God loves me and he accepts me, and God would rather me focus instead of walking around consumed and beating yourself up every day. Whose dream are you chasing? You're beating yourself up. You're not married. You don't have any kids yet. But in your heart of hearts, your dream is to travel the world and to create a digital nomad business. And you want to live in different places every month. And you want to just travel the world. And you really don't even want kids. You don't even really want a wife. You don't even really want a husband. You don't even really want to be committed and tied down like that to somebody. But you hold off and you won't quit this job and you won't start the business and you won't start traveling and you won't, because you're trying to fit into your mama's version of her dream life for you, or you're trying to fit your daddy's expectations, or you're trying to fit in with your friends, or you're thinking, oh, white picket fence, I need to get married. If I'm going to have babies, I'm already 32. How, I don't want to be too much older before I have kids. And then you're, but I really want to travel and I really want to start this business. And when you're not even in control of when you meet someone and have kids anyway. But in the meantime, you're putting your life on hold for somebody else's dream. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? I know I'm talking to somebody this morning. Whose dream are you chasing? Who told you you had to be a millionaire? Who told you you had to be married? Who told you you had to have kids? Who told you you couldn't be gay? Who told you you couldn't wear them shoes? Who told you you had to wear your hair like that? Who told you? Who told you had to grind and hustle to make money? Why can't money come out of flow? Why can't money come out of balance? Why can't money come out of anointing? Why can't money come out of joy? Why can't money come out of your gifts, your passions? Why can't money come out of bliss? I'm so sick of this narrative. Hustle, grind, sacrifice. If that's what it takes to have a bunch of money, I can see why a lot of people opt out. Are there always going to be sacrifices in life? Yes, but should you be constantly in a season of sacrifice, constantly in a season of suffering, constantly in a season of struggle, constantly in a season of giving up everything you want to do because you're waiting to do what you want to do, and in the meantime, people are dying every day and they ain't got to do half of what they had on their bucket list. They didn't do half the things that they had written down that they wanted to do, and now their life is over. Who am I talking to? You waiting on the man. You waiting on the baby. You waiting on the woman. You waiting on the money. You waiting on the getting fit. I was in the gym this morning when I finally got my butt up off that bench. I was in the gym this morning and I was standing in the mirror in our private gym. There's these mirrors on the walls. And I was in the gym and I was looking in the mirror and I was doing some squats and I was dancing around to the music in between my weight training and lifting. And I'm in the mirror and I'm dancing around and I'm looking at my hips. And I said, this may not be my best body, but this is the only fucking body I got. And you know what? This body has gotten me to where I'm at right now. And I'm about to live my best life and rock this body I got. I need somebody to hear me. For those of you with self-image issues, for those of you with weight issues, for those of you who constantly putting yourself down, it's not quite right, I'm not thin enough, I'm not shaped right, I'm not pretty enough. I said this morning, I looked at my body Becca, baby, you're a little thick right now. It's a little thick. But you know what? It's time to get over it. Get over it. You look damn good, mama, for 45, almost 50. You look damn good, baby. You're going to have to rock it and stop beating yourself up every day over this little extra thickness you got. Because last time I checked, this is the only body you got, mama. It's the only body I got. I got one life to live, and tomorrow's not promised. And if you're going to be worrying about whether or not you lose this 5 pounds, this 10 pounds, and then tomorrow you could die and you didn't eat the donut. You didn't eat the tacos. You didn't have your little margarita and Taco Tuesday tonight because, yo, I'm so thick. Oh, Rebecca, oh, I'm trying to lose this weight. I'm trying to be skinny. Whose dream are you chasing, Rebecca? Whose dream are you chasing? I ain't been skinny a day in my life. But I always got these vain imaginings going on in my head. The Bible calls it vain imaginings. These fascinations, this imagery you keep. Who am I talking to? You keep creating this false narrative in your mind that is creating goals for you and dreams for you that don't even match your reality, don't even look like you. So now, subconsciously, you create this expectation and you've set the bar too high and it doesn't even fit you, but yet you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself trying to manifest something that's not even for you. I ain't never been skinny a day in my life. I got to go over here and take all these skinny little chicks off my little vision board for my next photo shoot and go find me some curvy chick models to put on my vision board for these clothes I want to wear, for these images and visuals and aesthetics I use for my branding boards. I got to go find me some curvy chicks and put them on my branding board for my new photo shoot because I ain't never going to be skinny. My daddy said, honey, you were born with them thunder thighs. You came out the womb with thunder thighs. My daddy used to stop trying to kill yourself. You ain't never going to be skinny, Rebecca. My daddy, Rebecca Lynn, you were born thick. You were born. I don't think I've ever been a single digit size in my life. I don't think I've ever been smaller than a size 10, y'all. At 13, I had hips. And anybody who don't like it, just don't like no hips. Don't like no curves. I ain't for you, boo. But when are we going to stop chasing dreams that are not ours? When are you going to stop and get honest with yourself? You know what? I'm going to rock out this size 10. I'm going to rock this size 12 like it ain't never been rocked before. And I'm about to be the finest size 12 in my photo shoots. That is the finest size 12 anybody's ever seen. I'm about to rock my $200,000 a year as if it's $200 million a year. And I'm about to make the most of it. God, show me how to press this down, multiply it exponentially, and take this thing to the next level on 200,000, not 200 million. And teach me how to have the patience to flow in this and not create anything that stresses me out to the point that I cannot enjoy what I've created. See, nobody teaches that. Nobody preaches that part. That while you're chasing all this stuff, you get yourself in situations where you're so freaking stressed out and overwhelmed, and you done got yourself and backed yourself into a corner where you can't even wake up with no peace. You can't go to sleep with no peace. You're waking up next to somebody that you don't even like looking at, because you just were determined to be married. You were just determined to manifest this man and this baby. And you were just determined to manifest this woman and this family. And now you're sitting here miserable because instead of waiting on God's timing for your life, instead of waiting and being honest about what you wanted and who you are and being honest about what's authentic to you, you decided to go create it for yourself. Try to make it happen and try to then put it on God and say, God did it. God blessed it. God made it happen. God manifested it. No, it's a hot ass mess. God didn't have nothing to do with it. You manifested that out of your own ego. You manifested that out of your own desires. You were not in alignment with God when you manifested that. You made it happen. And God sits back and says, all right, have at it, boo. Sure, you can have anything you put your mind to, but is it the mind of God? Is it God's heart for you? Is it authentic to you? Is it your bliss? Is it your truth? Is it your happiness? And then you wonder why you're sitting here in messes, and you wonder why you're such a good person, but you keep creating chaos. You keep creating drama. You keep creating craziness, even though you're a good person. You're creating it because you're being fake. You're not being real. So you keep jacking up other people and other situations because you get yourself entangled in messes that are not yours and not authentic. You knew you shouldn't have been in it even when you were in it. Now you're breaking hearts and you're disappointing people and you're letting people down. And then you have the nerve to be mad at them and all the expectations they put on you that you created. Because you set them up for the okie doke. And the whole time you were lying to yourself. And then when you decide to show up and when you decide to get honest, you're having to break down and disengage and heal all this craziness you created when you were broken. When you weren't honest, when you didn't want to show up, when you were scared, when you were people pleasing, when you were just saying what people wanted to hear, when you were doing what people wanted you to do, and when you finally get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you finally really show up authentically. This is just me. Love it or leave it. This is who I am. Yes, I'm anointed and I cuss. Yes, I'm anointed and I'm sexy. Yes, I'm anointed. That's Rebecca Lynn Pope. I ain't got to show up like nobody else. I can preach and prophesy your house down. But I'm also sexy and crazy and cool and silly. I don't have to be prophetess Rebecca. I don't have to be apostle Rebecca. I don't have to be reverend, minister, pastor Rebecca. Those titles make you want to put people in a box. And I won't let you put me in a box. Why? Because then you're going to be mad when I don't fit your labels. Instead of just saying, this is me, I'm crazy, I'm cool. But God will speak through me in a heartbeat. I will just open my mouth because I gave myself over to God a long time ago. And when you give yourself over to God and say, God, have your way. My life is yours. Do with it as you please. I don't have to sit here and speak in tongues to prophesy to you and say, thus saith the Lord. I can simply sit here and turn on a camera and talk. And God is just flowing out of my mouth. Because I don't have to speak in tongues and then you get the interpretation. Look, I don't know who grew up in the church. I've been laying hands on people since I was 13 years old, a little girl healing people. I ain't got to do all that and run around the church 3 times for you to understand what I'm saying to you and know that it's coming from God. I get to just show up. What? I get to just be me. Welcome to 2021, where it profits you to just show up. I ain't got to be with you at church, lay hands on you, run around 3 times, speak in tongues, tell you you're healed. You can lay hands on your own head right now in your own house. I can teach you how to meditate, teach you how to live abundantly for yourself. I can teach you how to do the work to get results for yourself without going to some woman or man of God like they are the apostle that you got to go through to get to Jesus. The fallacy of religion. You can be in your house, connect, align with Holy Spirit, and God begin to transform your entire life. How do I know? Me. What do I teach? What I've been through, what I know for sure. Whose dream are you chasing? Is it yours? Is it tradition? Is it family? Is it friends? Is it idolatry? Do you understand that ego and idolatry go hand in hand? That you sit up here on social media and you're idolizing money and you're idolizing marriage and I had to unfollow all these wifey marriage people. I had to unfollow all these people that is constantly, you getting married this year. This is a word. God said your husband's coming this year. He's coming in a Lamborghini. God said, and next year comes and your husband still ain't showed up, and what you gonna do? You gonna keep putting everything on hold for a man? You gonna keep putting everything on hold till you skinny? You gonna keep putting everything on hold for a woman? Idolatry. Sit down, Hardy. Sit. You sit down. Sit. Ooh, I'm going to beat you. Where? Oh, my God. Listen, this is when he stops listening because he want me to come get him out and spank him and he'll be out of the kennel. See, he got tactics. Flying Fox 95. I had to unfollow a 30-year-old fitness trainer. I'm 51. Right? 51. Thank you, sweetheart. Some things are not meant for you. Some things, God's got something different for you. Stop idolizing other people's lives. You're not built for it. Stop idolizing other people's looks, other people's money. And in the meantime, you're beating yourself up. Who am I talking to? For every LGBTQ person who is going to come across this video, I'm telling you, if you have not been molested or raped and you are struggling in your identity, I am going to encourage you to seek therapy and to seek help and to get support to start showing up authentic. And if you are LGBTQ and you have been molested or raped, and that's what introduced it into your life, again, the same advice. You need to be getting therapy, coaching, and support to help you start unpacking your bags, to help you heal so you can know who you are and what you want without the influence of other people or their expectations. I would rather you be here living your best life, authentically LGBTQ, and giving yourself permission to live than to be beating yourself up on the brink of suicide and disaster because you can't make yourself fit in. No one's coming to save you. It's up to you to do the work, to heal, and to get to your own truth and your own answers. I believe and know for sure there are people born LGBTQ. And if that's not you, then I encourage you to start unpacking some bags to get to the truth of what may be going on with you. Because guess what? You have options. You have options. And don't let trauma or pain or a rapist steal your identity. Steal. It came up in the work masterclass and healing class, guys. The concept and the idea and the conversation went to rape. And I said, the reason you were raped was because you were around a rapist. It's that simple. For those of you who are healing or struggling from sexual trauma and rape, the only reason you were victimized is because a rapist was given access to you, or you trusted a rapist, and that's not your fault. They look just like everybody else. You could give me the exact same circumstances, and if you were not around a rapist, you wouldn't have been raped. So the ultimate responsibility of rape is in the hands of rapists. Show me any circumstance where someone's been raped, and if the person who is the perpetrator had not been a rapist, would that person have been raped? I'll wait. Oh. And it's time we remove the stigma of sexual trauma. It's time we remove the stigma and put the shame and the blame right where it belongs, with the people who choose to rape and molest, not on the victims. So that was a sidebar. Wrapping up, whose dream are you chasing? I'd like you to ask yourself some questions today. What kind of life you want to live? What kind of life you want to live? What's it look like? Honestly, what kind of money do you need to make to live that life? Do you need to be married to live that life? Can you do it single? Do you want kids? How do you want to show up? What does it really, really look like? And then get really honest with yourself, so you stop remove all these deadlines and all this pressure that you're putting on yourself to create other people's dreams. Dreams. Right? All right, guys, make sure also, I'm about to update my link. Do you know that Carrie and I have a Facebook group? Do you guys know that we have the Abundant Life Nation Facebook group? I'm going to put the link in the bio. Make sure you go over there. You have to put in your email to join us, but make sure you put in your email so you can join Abundant Life Nation. We have a Facebook group. We post in there constantly. It's just all support around abundant life, around all of the principles that we teach constantly. So you can join us over there in the Facebook group, Abundant Life Nation. I love you guys. Make sure you sign up for the Works Masterclass. It's closing this week. The dating course is opening this week. So Works Masterclass is closing. Make sure you get in. The dating class is opening this week. Okay. And what else? Oh, ALPCC is coming. It's starting August 16th. Make sure you click the link, get your applications in. There's only like 2 spots left. All right. Love you guys.